going to drag this out and then move it onto a different screen just so I can check it.
Do we have a game I can jump into?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Also, hey.
Hello there.
Hello.
You did it.
I did it.
Congratulations.
30-minute makeup stream.
Amazing.
You tried.
You're the bravest hero we all wish we could be. I can't remember what the song's called. You made it through the tunnel. Then you grabbed the fire on the wall. Oh wait, we're live. Okay.
Most prepared stream of all time.
Yeah, we're so prepared. All right, hello everyone. It's great to see you all here. I've got Twitch on the side, so hopefully it will people can shout at me if difficult things are going on. But that's okay. We're playing Netrunner today. Save the karaoke for the interludes. Yes, I will, Anakin. We're playing Netrunner today, which is really exciting. To give a brief introduction to Netrunner for people who don't know, this is a collectible card game where we have a cool corporation player who is trying to advance their evil agendas fight a runner who is also known as, who is essentially a hacker who is trying to steal those agendas before the corp can score them out. There are a few things you should know before we start. So whilst they're getting setting up and deciding whilst our two players, Hannah and Jamie, are getting set up and making sure that they've decided whether to mulligan or not and all that, Tim is going to explain a few quick basics about the game that you should know, and I will be waving my mouse around whilst he does that. So go for it, Tim.
Okay. Both players start the game with a hand of 5 cards. You can see those on the left of the screen, top and bottom. Just above and below those respectively, you can see the number of clicks and credits that the players have. Clicks with the clock symbol, credits with the diamond or rupee symbol. These are the main resources of the game. Credits stick around between turns. Both players start with 5, and they're used to play cards. Clicks are something that is only usable on a single turn. You can't store them. The runner has 4 clicks on a turn, the corp 3. Clicks are used to either gain credits, draw cards, or play or install cards.
The last one's the coolest one.
There is a main way to win the game, which is scoring agenda points. Finnbar's going to now show an agenda.
Blammer, an agenda. Oh, I was going to shrink this to make it bigger, but keep talking, Tim. There we go.
That's no longer an agenda.
It is now.
So, an agenda is a card in the corpse deck. And you can see there's a number on the middle left of the... yep, there we go. This is the number of agenda points the agenda is worth. When a player reaches 7 agenda points, they win the game.
Hooray!
The corp can score an agenda by installing it and then investing clicks and credits in it. The runner can steal agendas by running into the corporate servers, hacking in and finding out their secrets.
Yeah. I think that's everything, right? So we can just begin.
Yep.
Cool. In which case, good luck to both of you. I'm going to mute desktop audio so you can't be heard by the stream, so feel free to swear as much as you like. And off you go. Yeah, you're definitely muted. I can see the thing not go up. Yep. Off you go. Ah, feck. All right. So we've got so the corporation's the bottom player, and they are the so they're the one that's trying to defend their servers from the runner. The first card here we've got is an operation. Do you want to briefly say something about that, Tim?
Yep, operations are one-off effects. You've got the cost in credits shown in the top left,
Blammo.
5 credits in this case, and the effect of the card just under the middle text, in this case, gain at 9 credits.
It's a money card. It gets you more money. Money is good. That's it. Oh god, she's played a second one. Okay, cool. Good start. We're starting with economy. And then third click is installing a piece of ice. Yep. Very briefly.
Ice is what the corporation uses to defend their servers during runs that the runner makes. Each ice protects a single server. The corporation starts with 3. HQ, their hand, R&D, their deck, archives, their pile of used cards.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. And now we go over to the runner turn. So the runner today is this guy, who's being played by Jamie. And so first click, draw a card. I wonder what she's digging for. What?
So at the start of the game, you want economy. So
yeah, she might be going for an economy card. Although I see some typing. Oh no. Okay, so we now have a telework contract. So let's briefly talk about this.
Telework's contract is a resource. If Finnbar could bring us up on the right
of course.
screen.
Here we go.
It costs 1 credit to install. It sticks around, and its effects are shown again in the lower half of the card.
Yeah.
In this case, when it's installed, some credits are put on it, and it has an ability, which Finnbar can describe.
Sure, you can take money from it. You can take 3 credits from it for an action, which is better than 1 credit for an action. So economy. You might notice a lot of my enthusiasm will come from saying the word economy and putting 2 thumbs up. You can't see the thumbs, but trust me. But yeah, third action. Oh, okay. We've got excitement here. So a third action was taking some money, and the 4th click is running. This is the cool bit. This is the really cool bit, the hacking bit. So Jamie is making a run on HQ, which is this server here, and there's an ice protecting it. So we're going to see if Hannah decides to res and turn this ice face up to make it active effectively. Is Hannah going to do that? Amazing, she did. This is a piece of ice. I'll let you talk through it.
Okay, so the ice cost has a res cost. Yeah, the ice has a res cost in credits shown in the top left, 4 credits in this case, and it has 2 subroutines shown in the top half of the card. These subroutines, if the runner can't stop them, will resolve and, in this case, do damage to the runner.
Yes, we'll talk about... Oh, actually, we will talk about damage now. Oh, no. Basically, the subroutines are bad things that happen. We'll talk about the runner being able to deal with that stuff later. But now, we will have some bad stuff happen.
So, when the corporation does damage to the runner discards that many cards at random. If the runner does not have enough cards to discard, they lose the game.
They die. They're just dead. The end. It's like your brain got fried in the case of net damage, there are different kinds of damage, but you don't need to worry about that. Net damage is getting shocked in the brain. Meat damage is getting shocked by a gun.
Or missile.
I think, is there a knife? There might be a knife somewhere. You can fire, by the way. So you can see that 2 cards were discarded at random.
That was the first subroutine firing.
Yeah.
And Jamie here has the option to jack out. To jack out means to end the run. Later subroutines on the ice won't resolve.
It's basically saying, no, stop. No more. I'm staying away from this. I'm done. Leave me alone. But yeah, that's a run. Runs are the key part of Netrunner because it's literally in the name. But more pertinently, it's how the runner accesses cards, which we'll talk about later, and steals agendas. And thus wins the game, which is fairly important. Okay, so this is interesting. Hannah's created a new remote server so you're allowed as many remote servers as you want, within table space reason, I guess. And in this remote server, she can put agendas to try and score them, or she can put assets, which we'll talk about later, or all sorts of things. So we've got 2 installs, installing an ice and installing a card, and this is interesting because now she's performed an advancement. Yes, as Emily says, simply refuse to take damage. That's very sensible. So an advance action is just you pay a credit, you pay a click, and you put a token on it. These tokens are used for scoring agendas, which we'll talk about later. That seems fair, right?
Yep. You will notice that the corpse cards are being installed face down. This is a key element of Netrunner, as the corp has a lot of bluffing power, and part of the game is the runner trying to find out what information there is on the board.
Like, this is really interesting because, so we said, agendas can be advanced, and they can. That could be an agenda, but there are also other cards that can be advanced, which could be traps, which make the runner have a miserable time.
Yep.
And that's a big part of the excitement of Netrunner, being like, oh look, there's a cool card in the server. What's going on? I don't know what this is. Do you know what this is, Tim?
I do not.
Oh god, there's a mayfly. Okay, we should talk about that.
Yes, we should. If you could hover over the card.
Yeah, of course. Boop, 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 boop. Here's a mayfly.
So, mayfly is a program, icebreaker. It has an install cost, shown in the top left.
Yep.
Programs usually stick around.
Yeah.
Icebreakers are the cards the runner uses to get through the corpse ice without subroutines resolving.
Yeah, they prevent subroutines from firing.
You can see that there are 2 abilities on Mayfly in its text box. There is an interface ability.
We'll talk about that later.
Yep. But you can see that lets the runner break subroutines.
Yeah, which is preventing them from firing.
And there is a strength boosting ability. The strength is a number in the bottom left of the card.
And we'll talk about how that interacts soon, I assume. I think I can guess what click 3 is going to be. Okay, not that, okay. But click 4, there we go. It's a run. So this is interesting now because we might actually see Jamie get through a server. So Hannah is reading a Palisade. It's a shame we can't get both of these cards up together, but Palisade is a piece of ice that ends the run, which is also known as no, stop, get out.
Palisade has some additional text above its subroutine, which is giving it some extra strength.
Which is nice, for reasons we'll now explain.
So the base strength of Palisade is shown in the bottom left. It's 2. The text on it is giving it an additional 2 strength because it's protecting a remote server. A remote server is any server that isn't HQ, R&D, or Archives.
Yeah.
Now, Jamie's Icebreaker, if we go back to that...
Oh, yes, sorry. Boop, 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 boop. Hey.
Has its strength at 1, and it can boost its own strength. Jamie's Icebreaker needs a strength equal to or greater than the ice that's being encountered if it's going to be able to use any interface abilities on it.
Yes.
The boosting strength only lasts for an encounter with an ice. After that, its strength will reset to 1.
Yeah. So Jamie pays 3 credits to go from 1 to 4 strength, because it's 1 credit per strength. And then uses the other ability, the break 1 subroutine, to break the subroutine, thus preventing the end run from firing and letting her get past the ice.
Yep.
Amazing.
Okay. So Jamie is about to access all cards in the remote server one at a time.
Yeah, so whenever you get into a remote server, you get to see all the cards in there and possibly steal any agenda. It's an agenda!
It is.
It's the one we started with, and she steals it for 2 points.
Yep.
She's 2/7 of the way to winning. Why is it 7? Oh, yeah, actually, that's a very good point that they've just made. For this tutorial game, we only go to 6 points rather than 7. Thank you, Hannah, for whispering that in my ear, because, whoops, that's kind of important in this game. So, fortunately, for beginner games, the fractions are nice. Wait, a third is kind of a bit ugly. What's your opinion on the fraction of third, Tim?
It's nicer than 2/7.
Yeah, I agree.
7 is prime, 6 isn't.
Yeah. Oh, prime numbers are cool.
Difficult to do maths with sometimes.
Yeah, true. Okay, so back to the game, sorry. Hannah's installed another card in the remote and has advanced it again and again, which is really interesting because, notably, that Mayfly trashes itself at the end of a run.
Yep.
So now Jamie is without breakers, so can't easily get past that ice, or as far as we know, she can't easily get past that ice. So we'll have to see what she does. Okay, she's drawing a card.
She's probably drawing to try and find an icebreaker to get through it.
Yeah, I agree. Like, there's probably a good search going on now as she tries to find some way in. Notably, in an interesting twist, R&D is open, which means, in theory, Jamie could just run on it and access. Maybe. We don't know. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you, Jamie.
So, some interesting things happen when the runner makes a successful run on a central server.
Yes.
It's unique in each case.
Yeah.
A successful run on R&D lets the runner look at the top card of R&D. The corp does not get to see it.
This is really important.
If it's an agenda, they simply steal it. There are some cards that they can trash by paying credits. That will move the card into archives.
Yeah.
But otherwise, the card will simply return there.
Yeah, so we'll see what she accesses. It's an unseen card. We don't know what it is. Hannah doesn't know what it is, but Jamie knows what it is. And pays 3 credits. So, brief aside, this is what's called an asset. I'll do it, shall I? It's very short. It's a card that stays around for a long time. You can install them in remote servers. Oh god, I missed it. It also has a trash cost, which means you can pay that many credits to put it into archives and thus stop the corp from using it. So this is just a friendly money card that is now in the bin, so Hannah can't use it, which is good because Hannah is currently quite poor.
Yep. You'll notice the asset has a res cost in credits shown in the top left.
And Jamie ends the term with a creative commission, which is another money card.
Yep, an event.
Yes, which is like an operation but for runners.
Yes.
And it is Hannah's turn. At this point, we can play at normal speed, I think, because we've basically covered everything.
Okay.
And we've got 3, 4. Oh, lovely. So Hannah got 4 advancement tokens on that agenda. It's got a 4 in the top corner, so she can score it. And she scores it and she gains 7 credits. So suddenly, that whole thing about Hannah being poor, nah, not anymore. She's rolling in it, where it is 8 credits.
That 4 in the top right of the agenda is the advancement requirement. An agenda needs that many or more advancement tokens on it before the corp can score it.
Yep.
Scoring does not require any clicks or credits.
Yeah, it just happens. It's lovely. It's very, very useful.
but the corp can only score on their turn.
Yes, but we won't dwell on that too much. Oh, this is cool. So this is a red team, which lets you run on a server and then get money for doing it, which is really cool here because R&D is currently unprotected by ice. There we go. She runs R&D, click 2. Gets an access. Is it an agenda? No, but she trashes an upgrade. Upgrades are cards that can be installed in remotes, and they're really cool because they do cool stuff like this one, which... Oh yeah, they can go on centrals. That's true. Thank you, Hannah, again. Yeah, they can go anywhere, and they generally make the runner a bit miserable. So this one is like, oh, you got in, good job. I'm going to kick you out unless you spend 2 clicks or pay 5 credits. And Jamie, they're getting more money with the red team from earlier. And getting more money from the telework. So like, big money. It's very exciting times.
All upgrades and assets have a trash cost, that number in the bin. So
Yes.
they can be removed once the runner does get into their server or finds them in R&D or HQ.
It's because the cost is trash.
Upgrades can be placed in any server.
Yeah.
Unless the text on them says otherwise. You can have any number of upgrades in a server.
Yeah.
But you can only have either one asset or one agenda in a server.
Yeah.
You can't have both. You can't have multiple assets. Can't have multiple agendas.
It's cool because it means... So assets are designed around like having really cool effects, but they have the deep limitation that they have to have their own server and do some really, really interesting things.
Yep.
And you can't have them in agendas as well, so you can't just like build one big server and chuck everything in it and go, look at this is my fantastic new server, aren't I proud? Because no, you can't. We're not allowed nice things. Meanwhile, Jamie's still digging.
Now you noticed Hannah discarded a card at the end of her last turn.
Oh yeah.
That's because both players have a maximum hand size of 5. If they end their turn with more cards in hand than 5, they have to discard them. The corporation discards face down. The runner discards face up.
Which is cool, because it means that... So it would have been a bad idea here, because Archives is a lovely server for Jamie to run right now. But Hannah could have just discarded an agenda. Just could have been... I don't want to deal with this right now. I'm going to throw it in the bin.
You'll note that that face down card is now face up.
What was it? Was it a regolith?
I believe it was.
Yeah, it was a regolith.
Yeah.
Cool. It was another one of the cards from earlier. We got a hedge fund up for some reason.
So when the runner makes a successful run on Archives, all cards in Archives are turned face up.
Yeah.
And the runner accesses all cards in Archives one at a time.
This is why putting agendas in the bin is a dangerous move, because if you just chuck them in and the runner goes, ooh, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to run Archives. They're also going to get a fistful of points. And thus a fistful of winning. Meanwhile, it's Hannah's turn. Mandatory draw. The Corp always draws at the start of their turn. I think we mentioned that.
We did not.
Oh! The Corp always draws at the start of their turn. It's cool and important. How the fuck did we miss that? Okay, we've got another card in the server. It's interesting time. And it's a double advance again. So I assume Jamie at this point is going, I need a way in, right?
Probably yes.
Okay, there we go.
Click
Click 1. So Jamie's installed a breaker. This is a fractor, which means it breaks barrier subroutines.
Yes.
This is a barrier. So it can break those subroutines.
There are 3 main types of ice.
Yep.
Barrier, Code Gate, and Sentry.
These are the 3 genders, just to confirm.
Barriers usually just end the run. They occasionally do some other things.
Yep.
Code Gates are a bit weird. They can often end the run. They'll often harm the runner in some way. They'll sometimes benefit the corp in
They're
some way.
spicy.
Yes.
They are like hot on the Nando scale.
Sentries don't often end the run, but do almost always damage the runner.
Or in some way or another.
Yes.
Just basically, sentries are guys with knives. Code gates are like cool programs that do weird stuff, and a barrier is a wall. So yeah, Jamie here has boosted the strength by paid 2 to boost the strength by 1, and then paid 1 to break the subroutine.
Yep.
So we're good. She approaches server 1. Oh, and gets the agenda.
Okay.
Oh, that's really good for Jamie. That's really good.
That is. Can we hover over the agenda?
Yeah, of course. Here we go.
Okay. Now, send a message here is a 5/3. Takes 5 advancement requirements and is worth 3 points. Agendas tend to be worth between 1 and 3 points inclusive. Agendas have effects which usually only happen when the corp scores them.
Yep.
But this one has an effect when the runner steals it, which can help keep the corpse tempo up if the runner is being very aggressive.
So Hannah's got a new friend. That friend is a divining rod? What is it?
Sometimes the concept device can be a bit abstract.
It's intriguing. It's angry DNA, says Hannah. Yep, I go with that. Okay, so now Jamie's played Jailbreak. Jailbreak's a cool card that lets you access additional cards.
Yep.
I mean, the game genuinely might just end here. So, as a reminder, this particular game is played to 6. The next game will be played to 7. Jamie's on 5. As Tim said earlier, all agendas are worth points. So if Jamie gets one more agenda, the game's up.
Yep.
Jamie wins. She's seeing twice as many cards as usual. So for R&D's case, you access the top card and then the second from top card, which means you've got even more information about what the corp has drawn.
Yep. I think just before the game might end, there is one last thing we might want to discuss,
which
is types of icebreaker.
Sure. Sorry, yes, I interrupted you with the thing. Go for it.
So, there are 3 main types of icebreaker. Fractors, which break barrier subroutines.
Yep.
Decoders, which break code gate subroutines.
Yep.
And killers, which break sentry subroutines.
Turns out bringing a knife to a knife fight is very sensible.
I would advise against getting into a knife fight in the first place.
Of course, but we'll not think about that.
There are also AIs, which if you go and find Mayfly...
Oh god, give me a second. Yeah, this is an AI.
You can see in the line that says Program, Icebreaker, AI.
Don't dwell on it too much, it's fine.
AIs can break any type of ice subroutine.
Yes, that's their cool feature. Unfortunately, they're usually a bit bad to make up for it. And now, okay, so what we've got now is we've got a second ice on server 1 and a card inside server 1. So Hannah's reinforcing her defences. It might be a sentry, which would obviously keep Jamie out, but also it might be a code gate or barrier masquerading as a sentry because it's face down.
True. It might also be a sentry that doesn't keep Jamie out.
Yeah.
In which case, Jamie could simply run through it, take whatever damage it does, and as long as the sentry doesn't get rid of Jamie's cleaver, their icebreaker that can break palisades and the subroutine, Jamie could still get in.
So taking more credits with the red team. So she's on 5, which is like a pleasant enough number of credits. It's not great, but we'll see what she does next.
While Jamie's thinking, what's the Twitch chat up to?
It's just Emily shitposting, basically. And people noticing agenda. Oh, it's an overclock. That's fantastic.
Okay.
That's such a good play.
Yep. So,
sorry, I should hold that. There we go.
You'll notice that some of these events are sticking around for the run. They are aptly titled run events.
I wonder what they do.
These are events that when you play them, you'll also make a run as part of the event, and they'll usually affect the run in some way.
Yeah.
Overclock gives you additional credits to use during that run.
Oh, and JB, Hannah didn't res.
Okay, that's interesting.
That's really interesting.
This might be because Hannah does not have the credits to res the ice.
Yeah, it could be a big bluff.
Yep. It might be that they think simply spending those credits would be too much of a tempo hit.
Yeah.
Or it might be that this is a trap in the server.
No, it's just a Nico campaign, which is just a money card.
Yep.
So it looked like an agenda, but it wasn't. That's the beauty of playing as Corp. You get to be like, ha, what's this card? And then the runner runs and they feel sad. Like me. No. I'm sorry, the joke was there. I had to take it. Okay, so Hannah's drawing. Which is really, that was a strong turn for Hannah because now Jamie's wasted one of her like really useful events. Like Overclocked is just 5 money out of nowhere, which is 4 money, which is fantastic. And we've got another install now.
Yep.
So maybe this is the agenda, or maybe it's a trap. We don't know.
Might be. There are a few assets that can be advanced, as Finnbar said.
Audience goes, yes, I feel that.
I think this is a good time if we type Urtica Cipher into chat and bring it up to show the
audience. Go on then. Let's bring up the murder card. Oh, I think someone's typing. Thanks, Hannah.
Thank you.
Right, we've got a murder card.
So, this is an example of an ambush. It's an asset. It can be advanced.
Sorry, why do bad accesses happen to good runners in Twitch chat? Please keep going, Tim.
And you'll see on its text, when the runner accesses this asset, while it is installed, do 2 net damage plus 1 net damage for each hosted advancement counter. So, this could kill a runner.
It won't kill Jamie today, probably.
Because it deals 2 plus 1 net damage for the 1 advancement token it has.
Yeah.
And Jamie has 3 cards in hand.
Exactly.
So as long as this ice here is not a sentry that does damage, or a code gate that does damage, okay. So this run is not going to kill Jamie.
No, but it may deeply inconvenience her, which, to be honest, is a big success.
Yeah, for the corp, that is a big success.
I do love me a good inconveniencing. And the gender in the hand is worth 2 in the ambush.
It is an Urtica cipher.
Oh, it's an Urtica! Oh, that's
Okay.
big.
So,
that's so big for
yeah.
Hannah.
Jamie has just lost all 3 of those cards in her hand. She has also lost the credits that she spent getting in and the click to make the run.
Like, this is really bad for her. And now she has to spend some time drawing up in an attempt to sort of find breakers. And there was a Mayfly in there, which would have been really useful for the fact that she doesn't have a killer right now.
Can we see the other cards that were discarded?
Yeah, of course. I'm just going to scroll up a bit. It was Penny Shaver, which is just a good money hardware. Hardware's like resources. That's pretty much all you need to know about hardware, I think.
Yes, they can help support your programs.
Yeah, well, we won't worry about that. And then another one, which is getting to access more cards, which is amazing. And then the Mayfly, which is getting her into servers. Like, this is absolutely fantastic for Hannah. This was probably the best turn she could have asked for. So she's installing a new card now in the server, trashing the old one because you're only allowed 1 asset or agenda in the server. And she advanced it once. Could it be the second Urtica? I mean, it could, but like, do you think it is?
I don't.
You don't?
Because Jamie is only on 2 credits. This means that Jamie is going to have a very hard time getting into that server.
Yes.
Partly because it is 3 credits for Cleaver to break the Palisade, and Hannah has that unres dice there.
Oh yeah, we still don't know what that ice is. Or to be honest, I don't know what it could be.
So I think the highest res cost of ice in Hannah's deck is 6 credits.
Okay, so she's always been able to res it. But also, there haven't been agendas. Like, every time Jamie's run on the server... Oh, it's a whatchamacallit? It's a seamless launch, which lets you place 2 counters for the price of 1.
Yep.
Which is just great. So she's gone from 1 to 3 to 4 advancements, 5 advancements.
Okay.
And she gets out her own send a message.
Right.
So it's now 5/5. This is it. Oh
my word!
And she gets
it
a
is
6 credit ice.
Yep.
She paid what? She paid 4 to get 6.
Yes.
And got 3 points.
Yep.
And is now 1 agenda away from winning. That's really good.
Okay.
Like, Hannah was not in a great place, but now she's really managed to bring it back.
Indeed.
Like, I think Jamie's been fairly unlucky, or not, like, has been unfortunate in making so many runs that ended up accessing not agendas.
Yep.
But, like, as a result, she's, like, Hannah's still also been playing really, really well in pressuring Jamie to make those runs.
Yes.
Because it's a big... I've just noticed it says X-Wing. I'm going to quickly edit that. It's now Netrunner.
However, Jamie does now have Carmen, their killer. So they can now get into HQ past the sentry that was protecting it from there.
Yeah, she can get into any server now.
As long as she has enough credits.
Yeah, for the low price of many, she can get into a server. The question is what she's going to do with that, because we've seen that cool HQ card be trashed, the one that would let her get lots of nice accesses from Hannah's hand. Oh, what a thrilling turn from Hannah! Click for 3 credits. Sometimes you get these. I guess it's the equivalent of land pass.
It's better than land pass because you do build up resources.
That is the best. Yeah, land pass you build up. Hannah's saying with Yeah, sometimes you have a turn where you click for 3 credits and it's a bit sad, but you know what? That's okay. Also, I've just seen Alex's comment in stream chat. You guys are doing the impossible. I'm actually vaguely understanding Netrunner, which is the highest compliment we could ever receive.
Yep.
Like, for reference, our test stream on this was questionable.
We found some flaws.
We found some flaws. There were quite a few flaws, but that's okay. Oh, we've got an access on HQ. So what this means is that Hannah gets to access... Oh no, Jamie gets to access a card from Hannah's hand at random.
Yep.
Sorry, I stole your explanation bit there.
It's no worry.
That's good, because if it was a worry, that'd be a bit odd.
I think I'll comment that Jamie is probably now going to target central servers.
Yes.
HQ and R&D mostly. Because if we look at this brand that's still up on the right...
Oh, yes.
It is strength 6 and has 3 subroutines.
It's horrible. It's huge and painful,
And
and I
if we-
don't like it.
And if we go over to Cleaver...
Yes. Boop, 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 boop. Here we go.
Cleaver is 2 credits to boost strength by 1. So Jamie is going to need to spend 6 credits just to get Cleaver up to strength.
Which is it's not economical in the slightest.
Yes.
She might be able to make like one run. What is it? It's 11 to get through the server currently. It's you said 6. Oh yeah. Oh, she can also
So
click
that's
through,
another
but
point.
we'll worry about that when it comes up. But the default cost is 11, I think. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, which is, you might have noticed, a big number. We've got our scientists working out if there are larger numbers. One of them has invented 12, but we're not too sure about that yet. And Hannah's gone for another triple credit turn, which is, what's she doing?
I think she is simply waiting for an agenda to come up so that she can score it.
But at the same time, there's an argument for trying to draw into it. Because if she's got no agendas in but the trouble is, she still has to play this carefully because Jamie can get into the server once.
We can see Jamie does have 11 credits.
Yeah, and notably, once is enough if it's the right access. Once gets Jamie to 6 points, and that's game.
Yep.
Which is like it's a properly tense moment. We also have this interesting side, which is R&D has 12 cards left in it. Notably, if that runs out and the Corp attempts to draw, the Corp immediately loses. So Hannah has 11 turns left of the game. Oh, 12 actually.
Including this one.
She's just moneyed up. She clicked for credit, played a money card, and I'll be curious to see what this third click is, because I don't really know.
So we just saw a palisade in HQ.
That's really interesting. Because that might be telegraphing that there are now agendas in HQ. Or at least that she would really rather that Jamie didn't get into HQ.
Yes.
Because now she's made it actively harder for her to get through.
Yep. Now, Jamie might know what this ice is already, because in Jamie's last run on HQ, she did see the palisade that Hannah had in there.
Yeah, there were 2 palisade accesses.
Okay.
Thank you, Hannah, again. Oh, we got another jailbreak! Oh, this is good. This is really good for Jamie.
Going on R&D.
Hannah is panicking in chat, but that's okay. So this is the one that lets Jamie access 2 cards instead of 1, which is big right now.
We can hover over it to bring us up on the right.
Yeah, sure. It says what it says. Breach is a fancy word for getting into the server. But we've got the Diviner again. So she pays a credit to boost strength, and then a credit to break the subroutine. She's going to get past.
And she accesses these cards one at a time.
So we've got this first access. Game!
Okay.
Oh, beautifully
There we
played.
go.
Oh, that was really well played. Amazingly done, you two. So what I'm going to say is it's 25-2, so I'd recommend immediately going to game 2. Because it would be really cool to see the fun game. So if it's time for spicy stuff. So for all the people at home, this was all the people at home. God, I sound like a presenter. For all the people at home,
I'm a presenter.
I mean, yeah, I am a presenter. That's a very good point. For all the people at home, that was sort of the introductory game. That's the game that we can definitely get you to play if you come and join us at CCGs or just poke us in the Netrunner channel. We do not bite. We don't bite, as I said. But now we're going to look at some slightly more spicy decks. So first of all, we're playing to 7 points, which is slightly more than 6, and more than 6 for a bunch of important reasons, but we're not going to get into them. And we're going to get decks with cool new IDs, and I think Jamie is playing a cool murder deck. I'm very excited. Ken, because we're running out of time.
We haven't actually talked about IDs yet.
we'll very briefly do it now whilst they make their decisions. Just keep playing on. We'll talk and interrupt you if it's an urgent. Oh, also, no, we'll just stay unmuted, and if we have to say anything sassy, we'll mute ourselves. So, here is a corp.
Yep. Each player has one identity. They start on the field. The identity has some deck building information in the 45 and 15 at the bottom.
We'll skip over that.
But the effect during the game is that whenever an agenda is scored or stolen, do 1 net damage.
Every time she steals, or every time she scores, the runner gets a polite slap in the face. And we're opening with Celebrity Gift. Celebrity Gift is fantastic. We'll talk about the runner ID in a moment. Celebrity Gift is fantastic because it reveals a bunch of your hand in return for money. So what we've seen is an ice, an agenda, a money card, an agenda, and a trap.
Okay.
Which is an absolutely wonderful first turn. Because it means it was an Earthka, not a snare. Which means if Jamie just casually puts down a card and double advances it, as you do, it could be an agenda or it could be a trap. Hannah is now extremely aware of this. Right, briefly on the runner ID side.
So here we have Ken. There's the same deck building information in the 45 and 17.
Yeah.
But again, the effect is the first time each turn you play a run event, gain 1 credit.
It's just a nice little boost. Pretty much all of the IDs are just friendly passives that you work with. She also installed a Verbal Plasticity, which is a card that turns drawing 1 card into drawing 2 cards, which is just genuinely nice. Oh, we've got a run. She's got no breakers, so she's encountering the Diviner, and it's just going to happen. And we get, Hannah is rolling the dice. Oh, she gets through. Because it says do 1 net damage if you trash a card with an odd numbered cost to end the run, and the Corroded that was trashed is even, so she gets in. And she steals an agenda.
And takes another net damage.
Yeah, but we don't think about it. It's fine. She'll be fine. Oh, she's
running
going again. Okay, that's less fine.
Now, she does know that there are 2 cards in HQ she might want to
access. Is her hand all evens?
Quite possibly.
Amazing.
Now, this is the disadvantage of Jamie.
Oh my god, she got another agenda!
Okay.
Okay, so apparently this is a strategy known as just steal agendas. It's a very common strategy. It involves just running and stealing agendas. I found it works quite well, don't you think?
It is risky because, as you can see, Hannah now has no hand, so any damage that Jamie can do...
but it's fine. Yeah. Call up Snare in chat. So while Jamie is thinking about drawing cards and probably going, feck, all my genders are gone. Yes, all of the genders. Here is Snare.
So apart from the very pretty artwork, we can see that Snare is another ambush.
Yeah.
When it's accessed from R&D, the runner must reveal it.
Yes, you may remember Snare from Tabletop. For reference, I'm not as funny as I seem. I am relaying some of Hannah's jokes for people at home.
So, Snare, when accessed from R&D, the runner must reveal it. This means that Snare works wherever it is accessed from, except archives.
Because it says so.
Yes. The Corp has to pay 4 credits to use it, which is a fair hit economy to the Corp. But in doing so, they give the runner 1 tag, which we'll talk about in a minute, and do 3 net damage.
Which is big.
Yes.
So, you might just be going on a friendly trip to R&D going, I'm going to access so many cards, I'm going to steal so many agendas, and then it's Snare. It blows up. Oh, it's a prepaid voice pad. That's nice. Recurring credits. Recurring credits are credits that recur every turn. You can spend them to do things. So this is a 1 credit discount once per turn, 2 events.
Yeah.
That's it. We did it.
The credit is on the card.
Hang on. What? So sorry. This turn. So she installed that card last turn.
Yep.
And now she's seamless launching it for 2.
Yep.
So there are 2 advancements on it.
Yep.
And she's protecting with an ice. And she's just leaving it there.
Yep. Now, we know that Jamie still has an Urtica Cipher in their hand.
Yeah, she does. But
so that might be that.
But also... What?
You'll notice that Hannah is on 0 credits.
Actually, yeah, that's a really good point. Hannah is broke as fuck. I shouldn't be swearing. Oh, okay, we've got the jailbreak again. You saw this card before, except it's slightly more dangerous now because a snare will just make Hannah miserable. Alright, let's see what... Oh yeah, Ken's ability fires, which means she gets the credit. But, first access. Oh, stealing an agenda, which does 1 damage and then its text does an extra damage. So a snare will kill her, but she doesn't see a snare, so she's okay. She's in the clear.
Yep.
Notably, 4-0.
Yes, so Hannah's strategy is paying off. There is always that chance that she might end up killing herself, but it is paying off.
You know, but details.
Let's go to tags.
Sure, very briefly while I assume Jamie triple... Oh, I don't know. We'll see if Jamie triple advances that and scores it.
So, tags are something the corp can give the runner. They represent units of information the corp has about the runner.
It's like knowing their address or their favourite colour or their bank account details. I assume in that order. Sure.
While the runner is tagged, has at least 1 tag, the corp can spend a click and 2 credits to trash 1 resource.
It's like finding a friend and blowing them up.
Yes. Quite literally in some cases.
Yes. Some of the corps have guns. In fact, I think all of them have guns, right?
Some of them probably prefer other methods of...
Other methods. The euphemism game going strong. Just like, other methods. No method. Oh my god, okay. So we just casually had an install from Jamie last turn, and that's nice. There's another card. But now Hannah's played Maker's Eye, which means instead of 1 card, she gets 3. It costs 2 credits though. She could very much die. She's got 5 cards in hand, so she's playing it fairly safe. Like that's a reasonable thing, right? What she'd have to get like snare sting agenda snare sting third agenda might do it. Oh yeah, or double snare. Thank you, Hannah.
Jamie has the credits to pay for that.
But no, there was nothing. She saw nothing.
Okay. She does, however, have the information about what those cards are.
Yes, so she's now got the next 3 draws that Jamie's taking, which will be really hard for her to work past because she can spend clicks to... Jamie can spend clicks to draw, but the problem is that's taking up her turn. So she can't do other things like install cool cards or draw cards or just generally like do crazy stuff. Okay, it was a Marilyn. Cool, that's nice. That's just a pleasant money card doing money card stuff.
Yep. The runner can spend a click and 2 credits to remove a tag. I'll just say to finish that off.
Oh yes, sorry, we never said that. Yes. We were too busy going, there's a Maker's Eye!
Indeed.
So just to confirm, Hannah is playing Danger Runner.
Indeed.
She's playing Scary Runner. She's playing... Yeah, it's as she's just said, no money, no faults, just headbutt servers.
The only icebreakers we've seen have been thrown away into the bin.
Yeah, which is reassuring. But we'll see. Maybe she'll install an icebreaker at some point. Although, to be honest, she has so little money that she can barely afford an icebreaker. Okay, cool. We're playing a Bravado now.
Right. So Bravado is another run event. It will... Yep.
It's a money run event. Yes. It does nice things.
You might notice some of these cards have flavour text on them. The
They're
text
nice.
in italics beneath the rules text.
I think this is Jamie's favourite bit of flavour text. I hope it is. Okay, yeah, she's confirmed. Thank you, Jamie. So what this is doing, this is really interesting because it's forcing... Oh, it's a Karuna. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho.
Now, knowing Hannah, I suspect her not to jack out on the first subroutine.
You think so?
She has 6 cards in hand.
Yeah, but no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no. Yeah, server 1 has been sitting there for days. Either Jamie is playing the longest game we've ever seen. Yeah, it's probably an Urtica, but also, Jamie knows that we know it's probably an Urtica.
Yes.
Which means she might have just been like, no, I'm not going to install an Urtica, installs a third agenda.
It might be an agenda like Sting.
Oh, yes! Because then she can just, score it with click spare. Oh, that's lovely.
Now, Sting, if we hover over it...
over the Sting, sorry.
Yep.
Here we go.
So when a player scores or steals this agenda, do X net damage. X is equal to the number of copies of Sting in the other player's score area plus 1. And Jamie's ID will do a net damage whenever an agenda is scored or stolen.
Oh, so this could be a cheeky 3 net damage. Oh,
Yes.
oh, we've got advance, 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 and scores out the agenda. So it gets a polite slap in the face on Hannah's side, and the effect is getting to just shuffle some cards back into her deck, which is just nice. It's a nice little effect.
It's fairly powerful, especially on a 3-2 agenda.
Yeah, we won't focus on that too much, though.
You'll notice this card is limit 1 per deck to make up for that power.
Yeah. She shuffled back a Seamless, which is really good, because Seamless means you can do more of the ridiculous mind games that we had earlier. Like, so Server 1 is probably an Urtica, but I don't know.
Yeah, this is one of the key aspects of Netrunner. It's a bluffing game.
Like, what is it? If she gets a kill, I'm going to be so impressed, though. Like, a kill with that card. I mean, if she gets a kill just by Hannah being silly, that's still props to Jamie, but also, yeah, Hannah kind of deserves it at this point. She's been running willy-nilly for what? Like, this is turn 7, and she's basically run every turn?
Yes, she has been running every turn.
Okay, so we've got another install in Server 3, which is exciting. And no advance. Okay, so it could be a snap. It could be a agenda that... Oh, actually, it could be an agenda. It doesn't matter how many advance... Oh, Inside Job.
Okay, Inside Job is a run event that lets the runner bypass the first piece of ice they encounter.
They jump over it.
Yes. Now, notably, if an ice is face down, the runner doesn't encounter it.
So they don't bypass it.
Yep.
But that's fine. Oh, we've got an access. Oh, it's a regolith.
Okay.
It's just a money card that looked like an agenda. So Hannah used that Inside Job for... Like, she might trash it, and that's kind of a success.
Yes,
like,
but Jamie's economy is doing fairly well already.
Yeah.
So it's not...
The point is, I don't know whether Jamie played it deliberately to bluff an Inside Job, but if she did, it was fantastic. And if she didn't, it was still pretty good, because, like, the Inside Job is gone now.
Yep.
There's one fewer Inside Job to worry about. Hannah's making a decision. Not to rush you, but we have 11 minutes left. Cool. Hannah just said, either I'm going to be dead or win by then. These are words by, oh god, a breaker suite.
Yes.
These are words by people who are brave. So Hannah just threw down 2 breakers and suddenly all the servers are open.
Yes.
Everything is open.
For a credit cost, but yes.
Yeah, but not much of a credit cost. Those are pretty good breakers.
Indeed.
Like, we've got Money Man, we've got circles, like, it's cubes and stuff. What is Unity? It's geometric stuff. It's pretty cool. I like it.
The art in Netrunner is very good.
And then I'm just going to remove part of your wall to get through it, which, to be honest, is a very sensible strategy.
Yeah.
So what have we seen so far? We've seen a knife that gets through walls, and we've seen whatever corroder is that gets through walls. What other examples? There's a literal battering ram. Oh, okay. Hannah says it's acid. Acid, sorry. I'm thinking too much about other card types. What else have we got in Netrunner? We've got the sun. We had that for a while, but it rotated. We have literally a ram.
Yep.
We have a paperclip. We have dog. Oh yes, Netrunner. Unfortunately, these cards have rotated, so aren't usually not used at the moment. But there were a set of 3 dogs, which were like breakers of each individual type. They were lovely and my friend, and I loved them. We've got a Dirty Laundry on R&D, which is just 8 money cards that also does a run. Oh, was that a steal?
That was a steal.
That was a
another
sting. Okay, so Hannah's on 5. Like, I'm really curious. I feel like Jamie has an out, but I don't know what it is. Oh. Oh my god, it's Trick of Light.
Okay.
Oh, that's really smart.
So Trick of Light lets Jamie...
do you need to undo the click because you clicked the wrong thing first? Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Drag it back to hand.
So this is a good time to mention that Jinteki, the website that's used to play Netrunner, is very easy to manually...
Pot of Greed draws 2 cards, Ryan.
To manually either reverse mistakes or implement cards manually. Though basically every card
is that game?
scripted.
That's game, right? Oh my god!
Game.
That's game! Oh my god! That was game!
Yep.
Okay, that was amazing. What? So to confirm just what happened there, so what, it was 3 cards in hand.
Yes.
Sting did 3 damage.
4.
No, 3. So Sting's X was 2, so 2 plus 1 is 3. Sting did 3 damage, and then the ID did the last damage that killed Hannah, and the
Yes.
game ended.
And Jamie was able to score that agenda the turn they played it down.
Yeah, she did.
By using Trick of Light, which let them move 2 agenda counter...
2 advancement tokens from what we assume is the Urtica. It was the Urtica, right, Jamie? Okay, it was the Urtica, cool. That was outstanding. That was such a good ending. Right, so what should... in which case, what should... we've got... yes, I think that's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unmute desktop audio. So Hannah, you're now live, and I assume Jamie will be live as soon as she unmutes.
Hello. Yes.
What a game!
Yeah, holy shit.
What?
I had legwork in hand. I was going to draw up, hit HQ, and then I had R&D and stuff and lockdown. I was so sure that was in the bag.
Which one's
And then just
Nicobolas?
the third sting. The third sting.
I think Karuna is Nicobolas, right?
No.
Nicobolas has arms, right?
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a
but
dragon.
Yeah, close enough.
Keiko's Nicobolas, right?
Oh yeah, Keiko's Nicobolas.
Keiko's too huggable to be Nicobolas.
Keiko is huggable Nicobolas.
Look at this tiny friend. This is not like millennia-old elder dragon that's bent on just a dumbass plan, which is, why do I, the largest of the planeswalkers, not simply eat all the other ones?
Anyway,
That's it.
back to the game. Wow, that happened.
Yeah, that
Like,
happened.
I wasn't
I had-
expecting that. That was such a cool ending. So what was going on, Jamie?
So I had that sting and Trick of the Light in my hand for a while.
You planned
so
this?
So I
All my
used
HQ pressure I
the
didn't
seamless
use.
launch on the Artica and put a thing in front of it because, well, partly like I was thinking, oh, maybe Hannah will run it, but I was also kind of thinking, all right, I'll put 2 advancement counters on this so that I can now use it as a battery for Trick of the Light, essentially. So
And then
I
get
now
the
have the Trick of the Light threat.
Oh, and then you
And
just
then-
waited for it to go down to 3.
Yeah.
The thing is, right, it wasn't even that I went down to 3, it's that I went down to 3 and stole the sting. Because if I hadn't stolen the last sting, it wouldn't have been lethal.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
So I assume you were waiting to go down to 2 for most of that, and then just suddenly,
Waiting for it to be lethal, and then it's lethal, and then I just explode.
Yeah, and then that happened.
And if I hadn't
God.
got that, I would have had HQ pressure, and it would have all been amazing.
Yeah, you would have stolen the final sting and just been like, well, this is nice. I'm on 6 points.
Actually, I think I probably still could have died there, because I would have accessed both stings and taken 4.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
might just have been lethal as well.
Yeah. So like, because to be honest, and I didn't say this much because I was aware I was unmuted in the call, so both of you could hear me. It did not look good for Jamie most of that game.
Yeah, I
Like-
thought I had that
Yeah.
down.
Like, I assumed there was some sneaky stuff going on. Like, because this is Jinteki, and one of the 4 corp factions was called Jinteki. That was the one that Jamie was playing in this game, and she was doing wonderfully with. Jinteki are very good at tricksy murder. Tricksy and
As opposed to Wayland, which just do regular murder.
exactly. Wayland is
They just find out where you're living, throw a missile through your door.
or a gun, or 2 missiles, or 2
Or
guns.
usually, actually, to be fair, it's usually a high-profile target. Which actually, what is high-profile target? It's just some
It's
people
more
show up
guns.
to your door and stab. Is it guns?
More guns.
Yeah,
Oh, we got
it's more
donation.
guns, but you're a celebrity this time.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
fair enough.
I don't have the donation window open. All right, give me a second, everyone. It's going to be this one. Move it across.
I can't see a single gun in that art. Is what I'm saying. Well, I think they just come up and roast you. And
There's
then you
one
die.
in the like mirror behind them. Well, in the
Oh
window.
yeah, no, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I was gonna say it's just this like elite hit
Don't
squad
get
just comes up and roasts you, but apparently they do
Oh my
just shoot you as
God.
well.
We got
Yeah.
a £91 donation
wow.
from
Wait,
an anonymous.
wait. No,
Thank
look,
you
look at the
kindly
total.
to
Look at the
us.
total. Look at the total.
Hang on. Oh.
That's going to be our next stretch goal, isn't it?
And
Nope.
no,
yeah.
but it's 1/4/2069.
69. Nice.
Oh my God.
Let's go.
Well played, anonymous. Well
Absolute
played.
hero.
Oh, I'm just
Absolute hero.
nice. That's beautiful. Also, but really, Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And we'll
That's
get
so
you
much
that.
money.
We'll get you that wheel spin. At this point, we're probably going to have wheel spins on a separate stream because we are running out of time for all of the wheel spins and all of the kazoo covers and all of the karaoke's. But we'll advertise that and make that really clear probably tomorrow. I'll talk to Anakin about it. They'll have some thoughts and feelings. But back to the game with 3 minutes spare.
Also, like, we're earning like 80 credits of the next stretch goal, which is ridiculous because we was like, £1,000. That'll be our really high, super ambitious stretch goal. There's no way we're gonna get.
And now
And
we're
now we're
at
just,
nearly 1,500.
£1,500. That's so much.
That's it's ridiculously
So
much. And also, it's going to be it's a one-page RPG. This can only go well.
It's gonna be so ridiculous.
It's going to be so ridiculous. Also, to confirm what we were saying about high-profile target, looking at the art, there is definitely a gun.
There
Look
is
at that gun.
there is a gun. Yes.
Look at that gun. It is definitely gun.
Also, if we want some more murder, we have
All caps.
Oh, it's all caps.
It's
yeah.
literally all
Yeah.
caps.
The
other-
encapsulation is very, very important.
This one, which is sending a missile through someone's window, it's very effective.
Yep.
Yeah, and also a
I like
piece of
how
trivia.
he noticed.
Yeah, a piece of trivia. Like, this is actually a named character straight up getting murdered.
It's good. It's funny
Yeah,
because it
it's
also
like-
corresponded to their rotation.
Yeah, they rotate outside, and which has implications for deep Netrunner lore, which is just whenever you rotate, if you don't get reprinted, you just get executed.
Yeah, you just die.
Which also means Chaos Fairy has canonically been killed by that logic.
Oh, that
No!
Which
we
is-
don't kill Chaos
which is
Fury.
sad.
Chaos Fury has dinosaurs.
yeah. How dare you do that to Chaos Theory?
I don't think Chaos Fury does. I think Chaos Fury just
you have
evolves.
you have murdered me multiple times when I'm playing Chaos Fury. Is all I'm saying. So you are being blatantly hypocritical.
But it's not me. Like, it's the Scorpions. Like, you access my
It's the
servers.
Scorpion. It's
You
not
have,
me.
you have
it's the
harded and used
Scorpions.
into booms. You have harded and used into boom me multiple times while playing Chaos Fairy.
Better lore than WoW.
So,
Amazing.
You really the hypocrisy here.
He doesn't get
the
murdered
rank
canonically,
is-
right? I'm not sure, Emily. I think he might have been murdered.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure. Like, he straight up. Like,
I mean,
yeah, because
what
actually,
are you going
yeah,
what are you going to
because
hear?
because Smoke talks about it later, like in the rest of the Flashpoint cycle, and she's basically like, yeah, he deserved it. Like,
Smoke saying what we're all thinking. If you play video
was
games,
it not
you
Smoke?
should get shot by a
No,
missile.
no, I'm pretty
I
sure
don't know if
that's Emily making a Steam's Hams joke.
Oh, right, okay, cool.
Yeah, there we go. It was Steam.
Yeah, yeah.
You might know that these cards are different colours.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah,
those are-
we should.
Yeah, very briefly talk about that, and then we should end the stream.
Those are two
And also
different
proxies.
factions. There are 4 Corp factions and 3 Runner factions, and there's also neutral cards on both sides.
Yeah, there's lots of excitement. There's lots of stuff to explore. We also have the new style art, which are created by this charity organisation that currently runs Netrunner. They're doing a very good job.
Yep.
And then we have the old style art, which was when it was published by FFG, which still works with it. So that's brilliant.
Okay.
And
Should I give my quick quote summary of the free runner factions?
shall I quickly mention proxies are cool?
Oh yeah, do that.
Yeah,
That's-
proxies are really
that's
cool
more
in this game because you can get the cards, but like
you can also just literally
it's a-
show up to the highest level tournaments with just printed stuff proxies. That's completely legit.
Yep, it's
Or
absolutely
You can
fine.
any level of competitive play.
That's a
You
bit shaky.
literally spend no money,
Yeah,
which is
you
ridiculous.
can spend no money on this
Compared-
game. Oh, I guess you could buy
speaking-
like some poker chips or whatever, but
Speaking of someone coming in, like who came into this from MTG and stuff, that's a big selling point.
it's a
Yes.
huge selling point.
Yes, it
It's
is.
very exciting. And with that, I'll let you do your quick 3 Mimi quotes
Okay,
of the runner
yeah, here we
factions,
go.
and then we're ending the stream because we've got to switch over.
There are 3 kinds of people who don't like corporations: anarchists, criminals, and the gays. This is yet more proof. Every single Schaefer ID is gay, and if you want to argue with me, you're wrong.
I mean, to be honest, I can't really argue with you thinking about the Shaper IDs. Every single
Exactly.
Shaper is gay. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. There are also 3 other individuals in the general public who don't like corporations.
Oh yes.
There's a cool mum, tentacle friend, and just some guy who's called Adam.
Yeah, it's we don't know where they came from,
Those
but
are
they're very useful.
those are the 3 groups and 3 individuals who don't like corporations. Everyone else loves them.
And on that wonderful note, we'll be back in just a moment with the interlude. But thank you so much for tuning in. I had a grand time. That was a genuinely cool game at the end. I mean, the first game was also cool, but that was genuinely cool. And bye all. We'll see you in just a minute. Bye-bye.
Bye.